Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. I'm your host and referee, Zach Stat Pearson, and goddamn, it is fucking cold. Winter vortex is coming, and it nutted everywhere. Holy shit! Chicago got as cold as Antarctica. That's not even a joke. It actually got as cold as Antarctica.
It's not an accomplishment. It's fucking summertime there.
I should be mad she tried to one-up me, but that was really fucking funny. I'm not even gonna lie.
You should be impressed that we were colder than Siberia.
That's something to be impressed about, yeah.
Siberia hates humans.
Sure does.
Today I'm joined by the one, the only, the silent thinker. At least I hope that's what he's doing. Corey Troy.
What's up?
That is his fastest response time to date. Good job. And of course, I'm also joined by the one who watches the wall because somebody has to wear the badge. Officer 9001.
Watching the wall? What the fuck?
Watch Game of Thrones, bitch.
Also, that's negative 35 wind chill. Man, that was fucking.
I mean, if you ever wanted to kill an old person, stick them in Chicago. And of course, you know her, you love her, because if you don't, she'll stab you in the dick. Reagan.
Hello, I'm sick.
Which means she's extra stabby.
It's true.
Okay, our topics are, for the record, spoiler-free on most levels, but I feel like they need to be talked about. Kingdom Hearts 3, it finally happened. I still pretty much don't care because they sucked all the joy of anticipation out of me. Now,
16 years.
I don't know the exact time, but either way, it's too damn much. That being said, where the fuck are the Final Fantasy characters? Because apparently none of them are in the fucking game. And I don't know if that really counts as a spoiler because they're not in the fucking game. And I want to talk about why you guys think they're not in the fucking game. Because apparently the reason they're not in the game has nothing to do with DLC, which, I'm not gonna lie, kind of sort of surprises me. Topic 2. Fight game player Mafia, who was charged with sexual misconduct, ban was repealed by the FGC. And he was then immediately perma-banned at 23 other tournaments the same day. Should his ban have been lifted? At what point has enough time and punishment been served, or are some crimes allotted to the exclusive category of permanent removal? I know that's a bit of a sensitive and a touchy subject. You know, if you guys want to try to look up more details, feel free, but it's pretty cut and dry. This is an old story. It just got new life because somebody decided to repeal it. Do you think the network of tournament organization who handles punishment should have repealed this ban or kept it? Do you feel like sexual misconduct charges should be something that any professional gamer should have, on his record and still find work? And of course, lastly, topic 3. Electronic Arts hopefully is the first of many idiots who tried to fight governments over child gambling in their products and lose. Do you think that there is a way to reformat loot box style games to still keep players interested, or should it be dropped and use old material to make a new game? Well, since you're the sickest and you would have the most time to lay down if you were done first, Raven, why don't you run us through your opinions on topic 1 through 3?
Oh, fuck, you want me to remember things?
Topic 1, why do you think that...
All I know is my husband dropped off the face of the earth to play Kingdom Hearts.
Of course he
He
did.
will resurface eventually.
Everyone knows girls don't exist when Kingdom Hearts comes out.
What?
It'll make sense when you're older.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's all I know. He dropped off the face of the earth. He is enjoying it. That's good enough for me, as long as he's happy.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Have you played any of the Kingdom Hearts games?
Nope.
Oh. Well, yeah, you don't really qualify for that one. Yeah, feel free to skip that one.
Nope. And, what's the other one? Sexual misconduct.
He was found guilty.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, this ain't no allegation shit.
Kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? And let's see. Number 3, gambling. Gambling, child gambling. Well, let's see. Even like Sega games for fucking ever ago. Well, like, yeah, let's make a fucking game called Caesar's Palace. I had a lot of fun with that as a kid. Even Sonic 2, there's a level where you get to just jump into a fucking mega slot machine. Love that shit too. It's like rewarding and yeah. So I'm sure that paved the way for me and my love of slot machines. While I do not have a gambling addiction, it is dangerous for me to drink and go to a casino. That being said, yeah, there is for sure a known impact on what it does to kids, what it can do to their future. So I'm sure EA is going to get a whole heap of bullshit for that as far as loot games and how they're going to be centralized, remade.
Let me get you caught up. Long story short, everybody and their mama from the political sphere started shitting on game companies because they thought it was magically okay to introduce child gambling. However, certain countries, as well as various congressional organizations, have been basically giving them the third degree. Belgium and 2 other countries in the EU straight out told them, your game is banned from sale until you remove them or you update the rating. So instead of updating the rating, some of these companies, Electronic Arts in particular, decided to ignore what the government told them not to do in a foreign country.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, if there are a few things in life that are more arrogant than Kanye, that's one of them. A whole country told you not to do something in their country, and you said, nah, fuck all that. You can't tell me nothing. So now they actually caved. They straight up got told, no, you must think this is a joke. And Belgium completely banned the sale of the game. And Electronic Arts tried to turn around and say they were complying with what they were told. No, they were forced to comply and tried to spin the narrative. However, do you think there is a way to reformat these loot box games? Or do you think they should just say fuck it and start from scratch?
That's difficult. I mean, can you even really take out that aspect from certain games?
The $1 million question. Hey. She has to have her own version.
No, by all means. I'd rather have some kind of input.
Well, to be fair, I mean, this is going to spoil my chances of answering the question, but I was actually thinking about this, like putting genuine thought into this, because when it comes to Electronic Arts, I don't usually spend time or thought on something so worthless. I've never seen somebody have so much money and then still be worth so little. That being said, I think what they can do is DLC content expansions, but mix it with the MMO flavor. So what will happen is, for example, Overwatch. You either know it or you hate it, or you know it and you love it, but you hate the community. Overwatch is as big as it is, not because it makes everyone feel like this is the second coming of GoldenEye. Overwatch feels the way it does and is as good as it is because players are always gaining something from the gambling system, the loot boxes. So if the governments tell them to take that away, first off, they're a billion-dollar company. They have the resources to just say we're going to create a $5 or a $10 expansion pack, and you could have built-in chance of winning certain outfits or getting a type of in-game credit from online and offline matches to specifically get the item you want. They could do that. They could do that like 3 times a year. $10 every couple months, release a new DLC title and expansion, some shit like that. It's not impossible. The problem is that shareholders don't know shit about shit. So the real question is going to be, are shareholders going to care about the reformatting, or are shareholders going to try to throw money at lobbyists because the game companies can't do shit? So the way I look at it, I feel like you can make those gambling games burn in a fucking nuclear fire. But you can take what's already there and you can use it to reformat everything. And if people say, oh, well, I still want to go back to the gambling aspect, which is going to be literally no one ever, you just let them know, hey, look, we're going to keep adding random chances for you to get this shit over time with the DLC expansions. A DLC expansion that gives me more material and I have a chance of earning it, but it's a guaranteed chance, not a limited time chance, I'm okay with that. Because risk reward is the basis for all interactive digital media, gambling or not. When you throw out that fireball, even though they've never been fireballs in Street Fighter, you're risking your opponent jumping over it, kicking you dead ass in the face, and then ending your life. Or you risk catching him off guard because he was expecting you to do something, or he activates another move and he runs directly into it. Everything with video games is risk and reward. And also now I can't answer topic 3, but that's okay. I can bullshit and make something up.
It's funny you mentioned nuclear, because I hear they're going to be adding loot boxes, or the equivalent thereof, to Fallout 76.
I'm just going to mention right now I've never played a Fallout game. Okay,
Trying not to say it.
well, I did say push to talk. Alright, officer, where is your question, or can you drag and drop it down so, Raven can look at it?
I mean, you kinda turned it down, so I figured, fuck it, what's up?
I don't know what you just said.
It seemed to me that you had no interest in the topic, so I figured,
Me not having no
now.
interest in the topic doesn't mean your topic is more important or less important than topics I come up with. I'm just saying I rarely give a shit about Steam. I do not deny your topic because that's petty.
Okay.
For the record, I think there are people that do enjoy the loot box system for whatever means, whether it's like for aesthetic values or it's like a pay to play, whatever have you. The reality is that as far as kids go with games, you have companies that gear it towards all ages for everyone. But the reality is that there are certain aspects in the game that should not be introduced to kids. So yeah, higher rating, that's one thing. And it should always be a parent's responsibility to assess what content, a kid is getting into before they're like, oh, here, got you that game you wanted. I have no fucking clue what this is. But have fun, as long as you leave me alone and I can drink my wine. See, that's
millennial
shitty
parenting
right there.
Oh no, that's too long of a term. I prefer helicopter parenting. That way they don't know they're being insulted.
What? No. Helicopter parenting would be No. Helicopter parenting. That's like doing everything for your kid. That's severe overwatch. If you always need to be in my sight, and oh no, here, let me do this for you, because you're here. I can just do all your homework, and that's helicopter parenting. Not actually, looking out for the media that your kid is attempting to consume. That's just called, I don't know, being a fucking parent. I didn't know that,
I don't hate my generation, but I think I honestly fear when my generation becomes the majority of parents, because shit is going to be so off the wall, fucked up, and tyrannical that I think I may genuinely fear children. Some people magically hate kids when they get old. No, I think I will fear them when I get old.
By the way,
it's a mentality.
I mean, really, it's just because, think about it. We're in a generation where anybody on the internet can say, because you don't think like me, you're everything I've ever hated in my life, even if you're being rational about the shit. I will never forget the first time a fucking 14-year-old told me, I need to get with the times because there's hundreds of thousands of genders. I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? Hundreds of thousands of genders. I'm just like, I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, what is your source for this reference you speak out of your mouth that you're pretending isn't bullshit? And he gave me a link to a list he got off the internet. Of course, like every list on the internet, there's no fucking verification and there's no stated sources. It's just a giant pretend dictionary of genders. One of the genders, shit you not, and apparently he didn't read it either, was Apache attack helicopter.
Oh God, not
okay.
that.
No, you're okay. For one, you're getting into like a blatant joke, and someone that's like for anytime you're gonna hear shit like that, it's like someone mocking the acknowledgement of different genders. Well, what if I identify as a raptor?
There was a rapper Jesus part on there.
Yeah.
And I tell.
By the way,
I told this
kid. Feedback.
Oh, sorry. So I told him, he was like, because he was a friend of, he was a child of one of my friends. I just went back to the kid like a few days ago, hey, did you actually go through this whole fucking list? Do you realize that half the things on here are saying that because they want to be something else, they've created a new gender in their head? One of them was wolf gender. I'm pretty sure you all know how that one worked. You cannot rewrite the type of being you are. You want to feel like a wolf? Hey, emotions exist. Emotions are real. I can't stop you from feeling like a wolf. I don't want to stop you from feeling like a wolf. I, if anything, want to possibly get you some psychiatric evaluation, depending on how far you quote-unquote want to feel like a wolf. But your gender is not a species. Because that changes, by definition, what the first two, which I don't even feel like I'm saying that correctly, or I guess the original genders that everyone and their mom knows about. If your species is a gender, are you saying male and female are two different species, or male and female have the ability to create other genders that I'm not aware of? Like, there was it gave me more questions than answers. And the worst part, there are some schools who use this list. Schools.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the list you're talking about and whatever list this kid gave you, probably a lot of it sounds like just pure satire.
I mean, I don't think anyone's debating it.
And it would be, in that context, it would be an effort to undermine people and how they identify otherwise.
Again, I'm not.
So, I
really
mean, I think it's more of a common sense thing to weed out the bullshit and figure when someone's just fucking with you, as opposed to also contributing and undermining other people, how they feel and how they identify. So, no one is going to be like, I am an attack helicopter, yeah. No one's gonna fucking say that and legitimately mean it, and if they do, they probably have whatever the hell that disorder is, or they feel a sexual attraction to inanimate objects. That is a whole other fucking can of shit.
Hence the reason why I said I want some of these motherfuckers to seek psychiatric evaluations.
Okay, again though, you're not understanding that this was probably a 14-year-old just fucking with you.
No, he was. I understand the full thing correctly. He wasn't fucking with me because the first person I talked to about this shit was his parents, and I was like, he doesn't actually believe this shit, does he? And the first response we got, we don't even know where he got that damn list. I don't like it, but I'm not sure what the correct thing to do in this situation is, because the last thing I need is for my own kid to go around on the internet saying that I'm a homophobic or some other shit like that. I don't think fairies should be considered a gender. It's a mythical creature, but it's on that list. So I just think the kid's an idiot, but also he doesn't have a proper grasp of the concept.
I think also his parents aren't willing to do any research to correct him.
Yeah,
they
I just
knew
said they're
that
scared.
This list existed, and they just let him go on with it, and they're more like, no, I don't want people to think badly of me. Well, that's a fucking problem. If you're more afraid of what people are going to say, if you try to, I don't know, further educate yourself and your child and be like, here, these clearly have valid research. These have nothing to fucking do with it, and you're clearly being a stupid little shithead for no reason just because you feel like it and you want to be, edgy or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
but
and just think, one day that kid is going to be a fucking parent. That's what scares the shit out of me. Because he's going to go through his whole life, or most of his life, thinking that anybody who thinks differently than him, or prove what he thinks is not facts or is fucking wrong, is magically Donald fucking Trump. Like, there's no middle ground.
No one makes that severe of a jump.
Have you seen the internet?
I've seen plenty of the internet, and I'm not gonna say that there are not people like that out there that don't immediately just like their thought process is so completely stilted and there's zero critical thinking. The bigger problem is that why the fuck do the parents know about this and they're not doing anything at all to, I don't know, educate their fucking kids? I think that's probably an issue. Yeah. Probably the primary fucking issue.
Yeah, I think it was you, Raven, or either Officer. I told about, I had a friend whose little brother was like getting fucking hormones and shit for the opposite gender because apparently he decided at 17 he didn't want to be a dude no more. And, hey, to be fair, I understand gender dysmorphia more than most people do. No, I don't have any issues with my own gender. I just want to say that right now. But I'm just saying that literally they didn't want to do the most bare minimum of research into how that shit all fucking works. I think they think all it is that he buys some tits and, they morph / cut up his lower mandible into a vagina and shit. No, it's way more than that. There is actual brain chemistry and also genetic shit involved. Like, you can't be taking those hormone shits while your body's still growing. Because it'll be the equivalent of trying to look in two directions while trying to make your hands do two different things and be coordinated.
That's not your choice to make, though.
No. You're not getting what I'm saying. First off, I didn't say I was raising a kid. And, if you want to be a different gender, hey, I don't care. Just don't be crazy about it. Like, someone fucking with you, let me know. We gonna straighten their ass out. We gonna get you the fuck up out of there. No. His body is literally still trying to be a dude. And of course my phone goes off. Sorry. His body is still trying to be a dude at the same time that he's trying to force it. to be or to produce chemicals that are from.
Okay, is it even appropriate to be calling him by a male pronoun?
I don't fucking know actually. But,
I'm just asking.
But you got to remember, this is also past tense.
Then it's rude as shit.
Yeah, I get that, but this is a past tense thing. This is before transition. I think, what do they call it?
Okay, and have they transitioned?
I don't know. I need to check in on that. I'm actually curious now. Remember, this is...
Well, then as far as you should know or remember, this person identifies as female. So
this was 10 years ago, and for all I know, they could say that they're a they or a them. My point is that if I say she over and over, it won't make sense when spoken. Because like I said, this is going from beat to beat to beat. So his doctor and also my doctor, which I don't know why he's in so many damn commercials, Dr. Anthony Hampton over at Advocate Medical, because I was asking him like shit at random, and I realized I should have specified that I wasn't transitioning, but I was genuinely curious about that shit, because I mean, this wasn't a new concept to me, but this is my first time coming across someone who's, trying to get into that life. So I was like, I think, before he even transitioned, I was like, hey, look, your brother told me what you may or may not be trying to think about going through. And I was like, hey, look, I just want to let you know, I don't know how shit works. So if you get offended by something, don't fucking pretend that I know that I offended you, please. Just let me know. Because you're literally my first of anything like this. So basically, there's been not so much an epidemic or just parental ignorance of people being perfectly fine and normal and comfortable with their, children getting gender reassignment and stuff like that, which, again, that doesn't bother me at all. Now, no issue with that. But what they don't realize is that your body doesn't hit a pause button when it's trying to chemically alter itself, especially when it's going towards the opposite gender that you want to be at. It goes both ways. If it's a female trying to be a male, yada, yada, yada. So that's why they've been trying to make both the CDC and, the Surgeon General try to figure out a way to get out mass general information about this, because most of these issues only come up from this thing. When you're trying to inject or give yourself and make your body produce... Hey, hold on a second. When you're trying to make your body produce the opposite chemical or hormone that your body is naturally producing, and also remember, when your body is actually producing it almost more in its life than when it normally will at any other time, they actually kind of sort of butt heads. It's like everybody trying to run through a door at the same time. 5 people ain't going to get through a door meant for 1 person to go through at a time. But it actually affects many, many other things, such as ability to function. It may mess with your hippocampus, which helps you with literal designation and movement and searching and finding things, as well as it may actually stress out your heart, because testosterone, unlike estrogen, I think you said, testosterone has an effect that can actually increase blood flow and heart palpitation. And estrogen, crap, I forgot what he said. Damn, this is old. But estrogen, okay, that's creepy because I set this thing on fire.
Okay, if you know the side effects that taking hormones can have.
No, they're not hormonal side effects.
People don't just walk into there, make that decision, and think, oh, everything's going to be fine. The doctor has to, and okay, dude, fix the echo.
I didn't say anything. You shouldn't be hearing it. Wait,
I
don't think you're hearing the echo from me, though. Try speaking now.
Okay, that's better.
So yeah, what was you about to say?
These doctors are letting these patients know what they're going to be up against, what, the side effects are going to be, especially when, you start these at a younger age when, yes, your body is hormonal. But to achieve I want to say, an earlier, more effective transition. You start this at a younger age to introduce these hormones to your body to get the maximum effect, or at least, that's how I would think that would go. But you got to understand that if they understand that the health consequences that they could potentially face, they're not walking into that blindly. They understand what they want and how they feel that it is worth taking that risk. So if anything, it is for sure up to a doctor to make sure the patient understands what they're going to go through. And now there's always an option to be like, okay, I'm going to stop. The side effects become too much. But more often than not, people that are very serious about making that transition, they continue it. They see it through. And that's because they want to feel valid in how they feel. They want their body to match how they identify, how they've probably known for years since they were children how they identify. So that's when you see early transitions. You have 4-year-olds that are like, no, I'm, they're like female at birth. They're like, no, I've always felt like a boy. So we're just seeing a difference in social acceptance and different options through, a multitude of medical treatments. Not to say that there are not people who don't have, regrets later on, but overall, it comes down to the individual. It comes down to their parents and their doctor. And you don't have to like it. No one has to fucking like it. And I think overall, we're better off just being like, okay, this is you, because it doesn't change, the person they are at the core of it. Whereas you're going to, and again, back to the satire and the bullshit, then you're going to get these fucking idiots that read satire pages, and I don't expect a 13 or 14-year-old to know the difference between bullshit news and fake lists and satire, between what's, actual articles and scientific fact. And how often do you see parents actually going and researching and helping their child learn? You don't. They're too fucking busy on their own Instagram and Twitter.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how most of us are. But yeah, my whole point is that the warnings should have got to him before me. Apparently, and again, this is me not knowing how shit works, and I don't really think his whole family did. Everybody and his mom literally said, we don't know how this works, but I mean, as long as he follows whatever he's told to, they technically didn't see a problem with it, but they weren't going to help him pay for the surgery. Not because they were disgusted with him on some personal level. They weren't rich. So he would have to take care of that on his own time when he got grown and shit. Which I was like, hey, okay, do what you got to do. But I sat down and I talked to, this was over the course of 2 years. So at this point, yeah, he was pretty much into that she game. So I talked to her after this, and I told him, like, hey, you know that doing this, you're probably better off doing this later on in life, but I'm not trying to stop you or make you reevaluate. I'm just saying, based on what human bodies are going to do and that you and science can't stop, or unless it's really, really expensive, you might not actually want to fuck with shit as far as, the injections and whatnot, till your body's finished doing what it needs to do. Now, I think they say the sweet spot is around the 20s when you have less issues. But I was just like, well, at that point, it didn't get awkward, but I was just like, hey, look, when you talk to a doctor again next time, I don't need to know anything about what they're going to do to you, but ask them what exactly they use. Because this is just my own general curiosity at this point. What exactly do they use? Material or chemical or fabric, whatever, to shape those female mandibles to look as accurate and realistic and true to life as they do. Are they like just manipulating and warping and folding skin around? Is there some like silicone-y, plasticky, waxy material? Like, what do they do? And don't bring me pictures.
What are you asking about? Reassignment surgery or?
Yes, but not how they do it. Specifically, what part or what things are they using in science or the human body to replicate, you know, the way female lower mandible looks. Because I didn't want
a mandible has to do with, you know, the mouth. For one.
You know I'm using a euphemism. Come on now.
You should probably just say it outright.
You know, I don't care about monetization.
What are you curious about? Female to male? Male to female?
Both. I'm curious how the hell they take a vagina and morph it or do whatever to turn it into a penis, and how they take a penis and morph it or whatever to make it look like an accurate fucking vagina. But at the same time, I wanted her to understand. I didn't want to see what they're doing or had done to you. I just wanted to know the process. And yeah, that was as far as it went though. But even then, I still talk to her from time to time. She even doesn't understand where people are getting these gender list bullshits from. And she points out that they're fake, or that some of these are just literally garbage that someone feels like being a dick and talking about, much like you mentioned. And then she'll immediately be shunned and called a traitor and shit. I'm just like, there is really like no regulation body for this bullshit. Because if I make a list right now and I call it my hit list and it's got people's names on it, I'm in trouble. Especially if this thing is found and it links back to me. But random people can go and shit on concepts of gender when other people are going through whatever they're going through, gender dysmorphia or whatever else there may be out there. And they're throwing shit in there with them, but no one is fucking coming at them. Twitter just now started getting rid of all of their pedophiles that were trying to jump in the LGBT community, you know, pool. I'm just like, they were there for 3 years. You just now trying to fuck with the maps. Also, if anyone ever tells you or you see on their fucking description page, they say that there are maps, report them immediately.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, where were we? Topic 4. Yeah, that went on a tangent. So with a little under 3 months of launch time, Metro Exodus, the game, has announced that its PC digital version will be handled exclusively by Epic Games. Many fans have voiced complaint about this last-minute change and have turned against the publisher. Some even going as far as claiming false advertisement because, and this is what he left out, the game was originally taking pre-orders through the Steam system, and Steam was not even alerted that they were not going to be receiving that game.
More precisely, they worked out a deal with Epic Games for their Epic Store, and suddenly decided, okay, we are cutting all distribution to Steam and moving exclusively to the Epic Store.
You didn't change anything that I said. We said the same thing, except I was saying it shorter. So yeah, what is your opinion on this? Was the change over to Epic Store a smart decision? Why or why not, Raven?
Well, given Fortnite and the massive popularity, and I think earlier I saw like an article or someone posting, thank God for Fortnite because all the kids are off of my fucking games and I play. Which I agree. All the 12-year-olds are gone. Yay! I can play games in peace and not be fucking matched up with a bunch of fucking shitlords. Fucking hate kids. Their popularity and the backlash they get, in general, Fortnite, Epic Games, it's a fucking shit heap. Whether you want to go back to Battlegrounds and fighting with Fortnite for obvious reasons, and the amount of money people spend in fucking Fortnite, oh yeah, they can make their own fucking store. They absolutely can. They can afford it. It's going to probably fund more games from them in the future, which who knows what ripoff that'll be. Who knows? But for the time being, I'm not surprised. I mean, if Disney can make its own streaming site, which will be coming shortly, you know, we can pay for fucking Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Why not? Why not add more streaming shit? In this case, why not have another store? Epic Games, they built their shit up. Not in the most, admirable way, but, they've done it.
So you feel like there isn't any true ramifications and it's okay? I'm inclined to agree, but I slightly view it differently.
I don't think it's great by any means, but it's just another fucking shit heap to drag in more kids, more parents. And here you go, Tiny Timmy, take all my money, shut the fuck up. Let me start seeing along to mine.
Okay.
Pretty much what that comes down to, but
Well, with that being said, all right, Corey, second verse, same as the first.
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally out. What happened to the Final Fantasy characters? They're not there. I'm not personally bothered by it, but...
Fuck you, I am.
What's up?
I said, fuck you, I am.
I'm sorry, the game's called Kingdom Hearts and not Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy was literally half the reason people bought it.
One more time, I'm sorry, I was getting...
Final Fantasy was half the reason people bought it.
Yeah, true. I mean... Yeah, I mean, I'm not personally affected by it, so I don't really got too much to say. Yeah, I kind of agree. The second topic kind of says it for itself.
Would you like to elaborate?
On topic 1 or topic 2?
Topic 2, bro.
I think that, okay, well, it doesn't really speak for itself, but how long ago was the misconduct? I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it.
Depends on what you're typing in. He got the perma ban around 2.5 to 3 years ago, and the repeal happened like 3 days ago.
And he was found guilty, right?
Yes, he was. He was charged.
So, why was it repealed then if he was guilty?
$1 million question. That answer has never been given.
Zax, the last second or syllable of what you're saying being cut off. Might want to push the talk a little longer.
I was just gonna say that's the $1 million question. No one knows why it was repealed.
Yeah, that's a pretty stupid shit. It shouldn't have been. He should. I mean, I agree with them banning him. I'm assuming they're like, what the fuck is this kind of thing, asking the question themselves. You shouldn't have been repealed. We're going to ban you, I guess, is what they're thinking. Cool if I move on to topic.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what was it, like back in the day, people would just like level up to earn things in video games instead of loot boxes. I mean, would it hurt to go back to that? I mean, if we're gonna replace the loot box system, or are you asking that I should find a way to make the loot box system?
What?
I was reading topic 3. I'm sorry, I'm being stupid right now. I'm walking around in circles.
So you're reading topic 3.
Yeah, 1 second. I mean, I think loot boxes should be just dropped. Period. I don't like them. I think they should be gone. I don't really like the idea of getting random things. Like if I play Overwatch, say I play McCree exclusively. I mean, I should play other characters.
You slashing and the hammer becoming the new meta.
Yeah.
That's not how you play McCree.
I don't play McCree.
There are attempts to say, oh, that's how you're supposed to play McCree now.
Well, I hypothetically, I don't play McCree like that, but hypothetically, if I played McCree exclusively, I would want costumes from McCree, I feel like I should be able to earn them regardless, and I believe you can with points through the game. But
yeah,
it takes forever to get them. So I feel like there should be a better way of earning things, maybe? Or faster? I don't know.
If a loot box were just for like aesthetic shit, would that bother you?
Just aesthetic, like costumes?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Overwatch is. Like, you earn aesthetic stuff through loot boxes. It doesn't bother me, but like too much. But like I just want certain costumes faster, and it's like it takes a while to get them versus like hopefully getting it through a loot box.
Yeah, I can see the irritation through that, or if there's just like an option to purchase it, that's one thing. And I think the importance is to know, do you actually want to spend money on that, or on a loot box, or do you want it to be, you know, whatever, like a random drop, whatever have you. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's just for looks, it's not going to impact the way I play or my abilities. And I think the consensus is, well, I want to look that way now. And it's like, well, is this going to affect gameplay in a negative or positive aspect? And if the answer is no, then I think, you know, same thing as paying for fucking makeup. You either shell it out or you don't.
Exactly. I mean, it was worse with like Battlefront 2, where things like characters were locked behind the loot box system, where you paid like a ridiculous amount of money to get the character. So like, yeah,
and that is wrong. That to me is very wrong.
Absolutely. So I mean, I would love to get rid of loot boxes, and like, I'd rather earn things for like skill or leveling up through the game, like older. Well, what was it? Beginning of the PS3, Xbox 360 generation. I feel like games were more like that, and then people found out they can make money, you know, doing the loot box thing. I'd rather go back to like the old.
Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that as well. To be honest, I mean, it's, and again, it's only an issue when, you know, when it comes to like, can this character be unlocked? Like that's a dodgy fucking area. That's like you are blatantly playing off the fact that people will spend money for an opportunity to even play with it. It's like unlockable that you have to get through a loot box. So, you know, you're burning money that you shouldn't be to begin with. It should be earnable, you know, in like equally across the board. Not, oh fuck, if I spend $20, I get this.
Exactly. Like, I just paid $60 for the game. I shouldn't have to spend another $60 to get a fucking character.
Yeah, and as far, if you want to talk about like a gambling system, that needs to go for sure. If it's just, you know, general aesthetics, or even if you have an option to purchase a certain look, if you are that hung up on it, then you know what, it should just be, here's the fucking store, pay for it, you know, whatever, your 99 cents, here's your, you know, your new skin. That's one thing. That's like, you know exactly what you're buying. It's not a crapshoot. It is a guarantee. But yeah, as far as, you know, like loot box for, you know, other opportunities to play a game in a certain way, no, fuck that, get rid of it.
So, topic 3, I guess?
Topic 4, you mean?
Oh, wait, yeah, that was topic 3.
Topic 4. Okay, I think I've been thinking about this for a little bit now. I think it was a really stupid move for them to move over to the Epic Store, because it's such a. Does the Epic Store have like a big consumer base at the moment? Like, it just began. There's really nothing there.
Yeah.
They're going to be losing money, I think, by just moving to the Epic Games Store. I just think it was a really stupid decision on Deep Silver's part.
Huh. Short but sweet.
Yeah. I just think it was really stupid of them to just... It's going to kill their consumer base, I think. That's all the topics, right?
Well, there is something else, but I'm kind of debating saving it for the end. Just because I want everyone's general opinion. I don't want to turn it into a question. I want it to possibly be an actual conversation. That being said, officer, your turn.
Okay. So then I guess we'll hold on to that until after you're done with Euclid. Right then, topic 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where the hell are they? Like, yeah, some of them show up as statues in the
it's not your Google account.
Coliseum world for Hercules. Which
Google tried to make a fake less popular version of Facebook, and they decided to get rid of it. And they're going to do it in March. That's all it is.
Well, I guess the second game did it a bit more of a favor by including the underworld.
Everyone does.
So,
yeah,
where are they? Is the closest we're gonna get to Final Fantasy characters in the game, some statues?
I'm gonna hang up now if you don't change the subject.
Little preview for some non-existent game at the beginning of the Toy Story world. This isn't a spoiler, by the way. I'm not gonna explain any more details of the plot, but there's like this Final Fantasy looking game that is like shows up as a preview for this non-existent game at the start of that world. And it looks like a lot of Final Fantasy characters, specifically Final Fantasy 15. And yeah, that's a very good question. Where the hell are the Final Fantasy characters? That's one of the selling points of the series. Oh well, to be honest, I stopped caring about the Kingdom Hearts games a while back, so this is mostly just me wondering, why are they doing that? That seems like a very strange decision on it. As for topic 2, if I'm understanding this correctly, this player was banned by the league he was working in? Is that what this is? And then a bunch of individual tournaments, after hearing that his ban was taken away, the tournaments themselves decided to ban the player?
Yes.
Okay. Then in this case, it's just those tournaments don't want anything to do with someone who was, from the sound of it, convicted of sexual misconduct. The individual tournaments, I mean, they have a say of who they allow.
Hey, you cut out for a second. You said they have a say-so in who they allow to what?
Yeah, they have a say in who they allow, don't they?
Technically, yes and no. There's overarching jurisdiction and judgments, which gets handed down, and there's independent. So there's two ban lists. There's the independent, which is that organization's personal ban list, and then there's the group collective ban list. He was on the group collective ban list.
Well, I guess this just shows that despite them removing him from the collective, many of them still want him.
Am I the only one noticing him cutting out?
I stopped after saying they still want him banned.
They do.
I'm not cutting out. I'm ending my statement then. They still want a ban, so then yeah. If tournaments don't want them there, they don't want them there. That's all.
The question is, what would you do?
Ban!
Me personally, I wouldn't want something like that in my tournament. I wouldn't want to be associated with having someone who is known for and has it on their record that yeah they have done sexual misconduct. I wouldn't want that at my event. Now, topic 3. This one is really, really easy. Remove the loot boxes. I'm going to specifically in this example use Overwatch. Remove the loot boxes and simply have players, rather than when they level up, they get a loot box. Instead, when they level up, or through various weekly challenges and the like, through basically earn through gameplay, in-game gold. Because there's already an option in Overwatch to just, if there is something added to the game, like, not characters have always been added for free, and I think those should stay that way. But, with, they also have the option of, you can use gold that you get from loot boxes to just purchase individual things for characters, be they skins, voice lines, and all that jazz. So just remove the loot boxes and make it so the players can simply buy, if they want to, just spend money, real life money, to buy in-game gold and then just purchase whatever items they want. Bam. Done. You don't need loot boxes. You don't. Just make it so that they can just straight up purchase in-game currency to get what they want. Done. And they don't have to get the loot boxes. There's no gambling aspect to it. You're literally just paying for what you want. Or am I being crazy here?
Nope.
I mean, I kind of like it. I never played that style for the most part, but I like it just because, no child gambling. Fuck child gambling. Child gambling can eat a dick.
Yeah, that's what I just described of you pay money to get what you want. That's how a lot of free-to-play games have been doing things before loot boxes, like League of Legends. Straight up, you can just spend real-world money. Say a new champion pops up, and you want them real bad, but you don't have the in-game gold that you can earn. You instead pay for their premium currency and then just buy the character outright. I mean, if they really want to, they could have it where there's 2 types of currency. One that's premium that you pay to get, and the other that you pay nothing to get and earn only through gameplay. That way, people can get it how they want it. Now, as for topic 4, most of their user base is on Steam. their sudden change over to the Epic Store, I think, is going to hurt them, at least for now, until they build up more of a user base on the Epic Store. The Epic Store, as is right now, is still rather small. And, people are not really going to be jumping for joy to get over there. Despite the fact that, yes, it does provide the developers more money, which likely is going to draw over a fair number of indie devs and people who want to say, well, I use Steam, like maybe Ubisoft or EA. But as for this, I really don't think it's a good idea yet to switch over to exclusively the Epic Game Store, because most of their user base is on Steam. Their user base are very displeased at this. I mean, yeah, they're going to be honoring all the various people who pre-purchased it on Steam, which there was a ad campaign for many months advertising Steam, and now there's this sudden I guess whether it's a last-minute change is like individual, but 3 months before it's released, they go, now it's going to be on this entirely different platform. It's not Steam at all. And everyone who wanted to get it was like, wait, what the fuck? Why are you jumping over there? Why can't we just have it on Steam? What the fuck? So that's basically what it boils down to. I don't think it's a good idea because most of their user base is on Steam, and I don't think they're going to switch over to this Epic Store. At least not yet, not until the Epic Store introduces more options for stuff, like, I don't know, user reviews, just to name one thing.
Okay. With that being said, I guess that just leaves me. Alright, Kingdom Hearts took too goddamn long, 3. I'm gonna just be very, very blatantly blunt with it because I've made my feelings known currently for almost 2 years now. It took too fucking long to get here. On top of taking fucking too long to get here and destroying my ability to care, one of the main reasons I wanted to deal with you is not in the fucking game. Now, normally, like any common sense person who knows that no matter what a director and a developer says, corporate and by extension shareholders have final say, they're not withholding Final Fantasy characters for DLC bullshit. And I know what you're thinking, but that can't possibly be true. Have you met, people who like money? Let me explain. Tetsuya Nomura got asked about DLC. This was maybe 2-3 days ago. He said they haven't formulated what type of DLC they want to make. Small cosmetic things are pretty easy, but they don't know if they're going to do something like continuous small amounts trickled out, or if they're going to do big giant story pieces. So you can't say that the Final Fantasy characters are being held back for story elements because they don't know what they're going to make. So I think people have forgotten yet again how terrible of a writer Tetsuya Nomura really is, and the fact that he doesn't really write anything. He comes up with general concepts for shit. And a bunch of other people, including scenario writers, handle everything that happens in the middle. And if you think he's a good story writer, well, let me just introduce you to Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3's synopsis. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. Again, this is not, intended to be a direct insult of this man. I am just stating critiques and also what I've noticed and seen on an analytical standpoint. I know what his actual field of training and expertise and degrees are in, and I know what he's been asked to do over these decades he's been in Square Enix. A lot of shit don't match up. But we all know the gaming world is an open west landscape. You don't have to have a background to make epic shit. As far as topic 2, I think the judges who repealed that decision should be put under investigation. Because he was charged, he was found guilty, and everybody else who's committed criminal activity of a certain degree and tried to hide it, they've been banned or they get removed. Usually it's not permanent because the crimes aren't usually as severe as this one. That's how I feel. Investigate the people who removed it. Do they have any ties to Mafia? Did he pay them off? What's going on in that situation? That fucking bothers me on so many levels. Fighting game world, the non-corporate one, is very, very disturbing and has many disgusting elements, as well as constant threats of a verbal and sexual nature. I'm not gonna lie and sit up here and sugarcoat shit like dumbasses will. Oh, well, I'm going to a tournament. No one ever said anything terrible about me. Bitch, go look at their social media. They're not just telling each other, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass with this character. No one will care about something like that. They're telling each other, like, I'm gonna fuck your mom because you beat me in a game, and I'm gonna make her choke on my dick. And if you think I'm joking, Google low tier God or put it in YouTube. Or low tier trash. There are YouTube accounts dedicated to showing how much of a disgusting human being this man is just for losing video games.
He's a total piece of...
Yes, he is. He totally is. He loses more than he wins. And I don't just mean online.
Low tier God and self-handicapped Street Fighter player after getting bought.
Yeah, like that's just the beginning. Yeah, he caught some luck or some small level of popularity when he trashed a cosplayer whose lazy fat ass was trying to lie and manipulate the system and always trying to get money and shit like that. But to be fair, I mean, it was a skittle calling the kettle black situation. Not to mention, what was her name? Mariah Lambert, or whatever her last name is. She tried to make people pay to see her apology. Oh my God.
Yeah, Momo-kun.
Yeah, Mariah Lambert, I believe is her name, also known as Momo-kun. And she's known for going out of her way to not credit people who either A, designed her sets, B, did her photos, or C, made her outfits. Not saying she can't do her own shit, but she likes to not credit them and shit. You know how that goes.
Not to mention her racism and being, hating on everyone besides who's, all fat and stuff when she's supposedly for body positivity. I believe the word of the day is
hypocrite. This racism shit is new to me. Like, what race is she hating on?
She's just a hateful person in general.
That's what I keep telling people. I don't care what they say on the internet. When you get them behind closed doors is when you really learn shit. I didn't need to have 1,000,000,001 people tell me, ew, you shouldn't watch Jessica Nagiri. Like, first off, why are you implying I go and look at that woman? I looked at her 3 times in the past 5 years and I noticed, oh, she's totally lying about a boob job. Then she admitted she had a boob job when she couldn't lie anymore. I'm like, bitch, you take photos of yourself for fucking money. You're going to get caught. And then, the whole manipulating the system so she can win shit and stiffing other people who were trying to play contests and shit fair. I was like, no, you just disgust me on a personal level. I don't like you as a human. It has nothing to do with your outfits and your fake-ass personality you got on YouTube. I don't like you as a human being, but I'm going to get off that because I didn't come here to, jump down her throat. The internet does that fine and well by itself. You can't Google her without if you don't set it to image search, you can't Google her without finding something she fucking did and then just runs away from it instead of owning up to it. Also, she's a terrible voice actor, and I'm not saying that because I don't like her. I'm saying that because people genuinely try to give her helpful critiques, and she flips them the bird or says that they're not worth shit. I'm like, no, fuck you. They don't have to help you be better at a job you don't even earn or deserve. Okay, I'll calm down. All right. So yeah, y'all know I don't give a shit about Steam. I don't hate Steam. I just don't respect it as a platform for purchase. Not as bad as GameStop though, which I really wanted to talk about how bad GameStop was fucking up. But there were so many choices, you know. Had to stay grounded in reality. Anyways, yeah. So I don't care about exclusives. I understand that they exist for a reason. But here's my issue. You already started taking money from people. You shouldn't do that. Because now you risk getting lawsuits, which is what they were talking about. Some people are considering suing them for false advertising. It's not worth it at that point. If anything, what they really should have done, and this is what I would have done, if it was a post-production exclusivity, everybody else who paid for their shit on Steam, hey, let them have it. But cut everyone else off of that until a certain time in the future. So that way, you're not violating any contracts, you're still good, and you ain't got to worry about a lawsuit. You know? That's a nasty situation. They shouldn't have put themselves in that situation in the first place, but that's the only way I can see them saving face. Okay, now with that being said, the big question I wanted to drop in you guys' lap. And this is for all of you. Sony, as we know, they've started panning out the operating system for the PlayStation 5. But what they've also done is file a patent that can allow an electronic device to play all of their games from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4. Built in. Maybe emulation, who cares? But it's built in. My question is, do you think they're actually going to use it? And before you guys say, well, why would they make it if they don't use it? Two things I want to remind you of. Number one, the Nintendo PlayStation. Second thing I want to remind you of, the PlayStation 4 already had programming and software that could be made to play PlayStation 3 and 2 games, and they purposely didn't use it. So, let me see. Corey, I'm going to ask you first, then Raven, then Officer.
I don't think they're going to use it. I would love them to use it, but they're not going to use it. I mean, I figured maybe to combat, like, Xbox's backward compatibility, but I don't think they're going to use it.
Raven, it's your turn.
Skip.
Seriously? Okay, so you want to go last?
Yeah, I wasn't listening. Sorry.
PlayStation 5 is coming out. We all know it. They've already started working on the operating system and the development kits. But they filed a patent that allows for the ability to play PlayStation 1 through 4 games on a new device. Everyone thinks it's the PlayStation 5. The question is, do you think they're actually going to use this in the PlayStation 5 or do something else with it? Now, I know you may think that's a brain dead. Of course they are, but listen. The PlayStation 4 has the ability to run PS3 and PS2 games. They just didn't allow it to. Also, the Nintendo PlayStation was a thing. That doesn't mean it went anywhere. Now, do you understand?
Well enough. I think, aside from, trying to, hang on, words are hard. Fucking NyQuil. If the PlayStation 5 is not backwards compatible all the way back to PlayStation 1 games, I will be irritated because, yeah, you're right, they have all the equipment and should be able to. It's just, costly, but for what they fucking charge for any next-gen console, this goddamn thing better be able to play every fucking game I have ever owned. That aside, they have, as we can see with the PlayStation 4, they do a whole lot of, streaming games, shit like that. So I think they may go another route that, they might add in, yeah, sure, why not? You can play your old disc but I think for the most part they're going to want to focus on Sony in general being like the end all for like their media, having like their own streaming services, streaming games. As we already know, the PlayStation 4 has where you I forgot what the fuck it is, like PlayStation Now or whatever, where you can play whatever games you want to download for the PS3, PS2, that kind of shit. I think they're going to focus on doing more digital games. At least that's the route that they seem to be wanting to go towards. And I know that there was talks about that and how Microsoft, one of their biggest issues was like, oh, well, let's hook it up to your TV and make it an all-around, your media go-to. And they have been saying that PlayStation 5 will be going that route. Some think, no, why would you do that? Just stick to gaming. Whereas what we're seeing is that Microsoft, for as much as that was almost like a huge fucking issue when it first came out, people were like, no, fuck you, I have my cable, I have this. Well, now that you have 10 million fucking streaming services available and everyone is sick of it, they're just like, fuck it, I want everything I want. I'm sick of having services for everything. I need a device for this, I need a subscription for that. Whereas now you're seeing more people consolidating, and say Microsoft is, not shitty on that end, given what we're dealing with now and the overload of options. Even if they predict, like, no, don't do that, Sony probably will go in that direction. So you're going to see a lot of digital content, you're going to see a lot of streaming, consolidation, deals. You may even see Sony and fucking Comcast work out something. Who fucking knows? So if it comes to backwards compatibility, being like, hey, by the way, gamers, they're probably going to try to do it as like a digital package or some kind of, you have to buy your way into it, I'm sure. So who fucking knows? It seems more lucrative to do it that way, to have like an additional subscription. But if you have like physical copies of the game, if we're lucky, they might let us just, put the fucking game in and play it. That'd be great. However, that might be too optimistic. I have no idea. That was long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Long answers are good answers. Unless you're Haven, and let me clarify, that's my homie from the army. I don't hate Haven. If Haven answers anything for too long of a time period, it's going to go off into a sexually deviant tangent, as anybody who's from first year podcasting can tell you.
Oh my.
Shit could be about marshmallows. He will find a way. Alright, officer, your turn.
I hope the PS5 has full backwards compatibility back to PS1. However, realistically, I think they're going to be using it as a means of, hey, you can rebuy all these old-ass games to use on PS5's emulator. And they might have it where you can actually use PS4 discs. Maybe. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a emulation thing, if they even do it, which I say 60% chance that PS5 has full reverse, no, 40% chance that PS5 has full reverse compatibility. Either that, or maybe they're planning to release some other thing, like something similar to, what was that thing called? The PlayStation TV or whatever? Where you had the whole, hey, you can play games on
Yeah, it was called the PlayStation TV, but it was only for the Vita.
Yeah. So maybe it's something like that, where you get, it's like an emulator that lets you, with various other multimedia features built into it.
Okay, so I guess that leaves me. Alright, I'm about to not blow you guys' mind by reminding you of something. Sony has made their life goal as far as a video game company to rip off and dick ride Nintendo, even though they can claim they don't give a shit or they just respect them as different types of competitors. No, they want to do everything Nintendo can do so they can not have an excuse or reason to not have any other type of game on their system. Look no further than the actual controller. Cut the wingtips off of every controller from PlayStation 1 to 3, and you got yourself a Super Nintendo controller, but a little bit thicker. Move on into the PS3 era. The Wii come out, so they come out with Motion Plus or Motion joysticks, whatever the fuck they were called. I don't really care. No one really knew how to fucking use them shits correctly, and the only people that did had the actual backing and funding of Sony's money for first-party games. And even then, they really couldn't get them shit straight. They got lucky with VR catching on the way it did, so they didn't have to make that much extra equipment. And they also severely nerf it, which doesn't bother me, because that just makes it more affordable. More affordable, more access for more people. That's why, if my game ever comes out, I'm not charging more than $40. Not $39.99. I fucking hate that shit. $40, goddammit. Anyways, so on top of that, I think they're going to continue that trend, because why wouldn't they? They're going to make a secondary complementary device that is like the Switch, but it plays everything from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4 games. I feel like that's what they're going to do. I don't feel like this is even going to go on the PS5. I feel like this is going to be a new platform that coincides with the PS5, and it's half the price.
That would be kind of ridiculous. And if they really wanted to go that far, why wouldn't they just do that with the PlayStation Pro?
True enough. Also, I'm kind of amused that we have kind of the same thought. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you would see different. Everyone knows Sony's job is to dick ride Nintendo, whether they have money or don't. They imitate and emulate Nintendo.
I wouldn't go that far, but you know what? It's kind of any gaming company's job to take what other companies do and do it better. And Sony's been pretty fucking top of the game as far as that goes. I mean, we've seen Microsoft, pull into the lead as far as popularity goes, and there's always going to be that rivalry. But when you look at where PlayStation continually stands, when they make a release and they improve on all the shit that's already available, they consistently do it better. Granted, their servers can always use work. I will never not dispute that.
I mean, first off, let me just say, I don't think anybody can fuck with Nintendo's shitty online service. Nintendo's online service is the equivalent of the famous iconic line from the movie Waiting, being the smartest kid with Down syndrome. Doesn't matter how much they improve it. Doesn't matter how much they change it. Doesn't matter how better it gets. It's still the bottom tier of the big three. Or actually really big four if you include the PC. So they're the fourth place horse in a race where people only really care about the first two. Internet-wise.
So here's the thing though, why would Sony bother riding around on Nintendo's dick when it's not like these, companies aren't, they're always ripping each other off. I mean, these are not ideas that haven't been, simultaneously thought of even, because you do find that where, say, it's common, say you have an idea for a game, and before you know it, that fucking game came out, and you're like, what the hell, dude, I thought of that shit. It's like, no, you're not the only one who had that concept and that idea, they just did it quicker. And more importantly, you almost have an advantage to see someone do that first, because even if you have a similar idea, you can see, how far that another company has taken it, and you're like, oh, okay, here's a point here and there, and you look at the collective whole of what you now have, and you figure out how to do it 10 times better, and then you release, and then you're back on top.
Well, I mean, there technically was a question there, but I'm assuming it was rhetorical. But that being said,
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. Normally, I would agree because I mean, anybody who knows me knows that if the system came from Japan, hey, I'm gonna try to fuck with it. Normally, I'm successful. But here's the thing. Sometimes companies don't actually want to put effort into an idea until they see someone else make money off
Apple.
of it. So true. Until they see someone else make money off of it. So here's my thing. Sony
It's also important when an idea is released and capitalized on, because like I said, Microsoft and their whole everything all at one place wasn't that huge. Whereas now, it's like the fucking ideal. Everyone's sick of buying cable, everyone's sick of fucking having 10 million services. Sony now basically rebranding an idea that, yeah, Microsoft did it first, but it's probably going to be better when they do it. When Sony fucking does it, you're like, yep, this is what I'm doing now, because Sony fucking made it much smoother.
I mean, technically, they already did it. Microsoft just tried to advertise it like it was a unique, but I mean, it's hard for a lot of people to remember that Sony is an ecosystem, much like Samsung. The only difference is when they make TVs that are specifically for their systems, they usually aren't as popular. But they make sound systems, they make system accessories. The only thing they don't make is fucking furniture.
Actually.
No. Fuck you. No. They even got a music division, which people keep forgetting about. Not to mention, they were instrumental in creating Into the Spider-Verse. So
No one forgot about their music.
I think everyone forgot about their music. People don't even know what Sony's music label actual logo is. I have to convince people what it is when they see it because they don't realize it. It's so fucking bland. But I digress. They saw the Wiimote. They made the Motion Joy or whatever the fuck that shit is called. They saw the Super Nintendo controller. They made the PS1 and the PS2 controller. They didn't really change much with the PS3. In fact, we all know they added the gyroscope 6-axis, which is terrible, that literally damn near nobody used, by the way, when they saw that the Wiimote had close to 360-degree motion. Then when they saw the Wii U came out, they just pointed and laughed because it was funny. When they saw the Switch came out, that's when you started seeing higher ups even admit, okay, we got to reshape how we handle portable. Because the Vita wasn't shit. And I like the Vita. But there wasn't really shit on it. Because at that point in time, it basically became the handheld of Japan. Before the Switch showed up. So their entire market was completely in-house at that point. It wasn't doing anything across the pond, so to speak. But that's where my ideal came from. It's because I've watched them do and emulate and imitate, and I wouldn't expect them to do anything different at this point. I'm not saying they can't make unique and creative ideas. I'm just saying that's a rare occurrence for them. Ha, indirect burn. Okay.
I don't know. I don't entirely agree with that.
I mean, that's the spice of life. I would be more sad if everyone agreed with me all the time. Okay. Now, with that being said, Corey, any closing statements?
Have a nice day.
Fuck you. Officer, closing statements?
Well, have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen, and remember, fuck Kuna.
Raven?
Drink NyQuil, watch movies.
Stack paper, get bitches. And of course, I've been your friendly neighborhood, Zach Stack Pearson. I will see you guys when I see you guys.